Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Welcome to our YouTube live stream today. Can I save you approximately 600,000 US in lost investment money in the EB-5 US approved projects just by watching this YouTube live recording? Well, maybe 10, 15 minutes of your time will actually save you all that money. Sounds crazy, but it's a fact, and we'll cover it today. Many investors who plan and apply for the EB-5 US Investment Immigration Program, which leads to a green card for themselves and their dependent family members, don't see a dime back from the investment after and if their green cards are approved. Is there a solution for all this? Of course. Just some common sense and experience, which we'll cover in this short YouTube live stream today. No editing, no censorships, no special effects, just exposed truth, just like the rest of our YouTube videos. Today, there's a warning to our viewers and audience members. This video is overloaded with common sense. Yes, unfortunately. Viewer discretion is advised. Quick introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Reza, founder and CEO of INWE Immigration, your gateway to second, third, or even fourth residencies and citizenships and beyond, no matter which country. We're thrilled to offer our clients our expanding portfolio of over 20 countries and programs open to a world of possibilities for investors, professionals seeking residency, citizenship solutions. We have successfully helped thousands of families since 2018 from over 55 different countries and nationalities in the complex landscape of business and investment migration. We cover Europe, Central America, North Americas, the Caribbean islands, and even New Zealand. Whether you're seeking a fast track to residency, looking to invest in real estate abroad, aiming to retire comfortably, or enhance your quality of life, finding crypto-friendly tax countries, or perhaps even acquire a direct citizenship without moving anywhere. Whether it's for yourself, your future generations, we do offer a diverse range of options. We provide more than just visa assistance. We're committed to supporting you from your original location to the final destination, helping you navigate the government procedures, policies, cultural and language barriers, sometimes even time zones, and to support your portfolio diversification or relocate for new opportunities for yourself, your children, and maybe even your business. Sometimes you don't even need to relocate to obtain that second or third citizenship. We provide personalized innovative immigration solutions customized to your unique needs. Our global partnerships and multilingual team speaking over 10 languages ensure that no matter where you're coming from or where you're planning to go, you'll have seamless support all the time and our expertise from our office. If you want to ask us questions or engage with our office, make sure you visit our website or fill out the contact form, both in the description of this video. Let's get started. For any serious investors and professionals planning to obtain their green card in the US, you've probably been looking at and talking about the EB-5 Immigration Investment Program. Otherwise, why would you be searching the terms green card or EB-5 on your phone or tablet? There's a lot of noise out there in the market for EB-5 projects. What to look for, what's good, what's not, and how many companies and agencies actually help you throughout the whole process. There's so many, there's thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands. And I'm going to bust some of those misconceptions today for you, and we'll cover the top 3 mistakes when selecting or deciding on an EB-5 project to invest in. Here's some hard facts first about EB-5 USA Investment Migration Program. First hard fact: if the EB-5 approved project you invested in through the regional center fails, for example, by not creating the 10 jobs in the US it was supposed to, before the conditions of your green card are removed, which was the I-829 petition application forms for your immigration, it doesn't matter if you had a perfect immigration application or hired the best and most expensive attorney in the US for your EB-5 case. Your application will be refused and your conditional green card will expire without any chance of obtaining a permanent residency, that permanent unconditional green card for you and your family. That's a fact, right? Second fact: the reverse is true as well. If you invest in the best EB-5 approved projects, but the supporting documentation for your source of funds for the 800,000 US investment and your immigration application are incomplete, inconsistent, or discrepant, your immigration application, the I-526E petition you filed with your immigration attorney, will be refused. So your investment is already done. Then you immediately file the I-526E petition for your EB-5 immigration application for your conditional green card. And within the first year, you receive a refusal. You may still receive your investment back in 4 to 6 years, depending on the project timeline that you invested in for EB-5, but you won't have a green card. You'll still be in your home country of residence without any chance of moving to the US with your family. Well, what was the whole point, right? You might as well just throw out the money. Third fact, and this is hard fact. And of course, you should already know that the following scenario is very realistic. You invest in an approved EB-5 project through a regional center. You file your immigration paperwork, which means your I-526E. It's approved, and so is your I-829 petition, removing the conditions of your green card. Congratulations, you're now a U.S. permanent green card holder, but you didn't receive your investment back of 800,000 US dollars because the project either failed later down the line or there were complications or challenges. And this is after they've created the jobs, issued the certificate to remove with the USCIS the conditions of your green card. And none of the EB-5 investors for the project receive a dime back. Well, that was an expensive EB-5 application for you. To be exact, it cost you 800,000 US in investment. The regional center administrative fee, which can range anywhere from 70 to 90,000 US. Your US attorney fees, which can range anywhere from $25,000 plus minus, and approximately $20,000 of government filing fees, excluding biometric fees, and it also depends on your family size. Am I getting these numbers close to what you may have invested or did? So in total, your green card cost you roughly 926,000 US, plus minus a few percentage points. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire and you have millions of dollars in assets or a bank account. Nobody likes to lose money, not even a dollar. Do you agree? Okay, at least we agree on something. I'm going to cover the top 3 mistakes to avoid when selecting EB-5 regional center approved projects for your EB-5 based green card in order to have the total cost to you only be the lost interest on the capital, opportunity cost, and of course the attorney fees and government fees, plus the admin fee. Warning to all viewers and readers, these 3 mistakes to avoid might be the most obvious and simplest points, but when you speak with your EB-5 advisors, they put so much noise out there and take you into different directions here and there that you may be blindsided or completely forget your investors' common sense, which actually got you to the position to accumulate your wealth in the first place and be able to invest in such a program. That's right. You're a business person and investor, and you have to maintain that during the entire process. Please don't shut off your brain. It's kind of like, when you go on a holiday to an amazing, location, a destination, an island, and then suddenly you get all caught up and you almost end up buying a bungalow on the beach or an apartment looking over the ocean because it's so beautiful, the lifestyle, the people, the food. Yeah. It's one of those things. You just get caught up in the moment and you don't think logically. Remember, we're always posting about these key details for investors, entrepreneurs, and professionals for new programs, existing programs, policy changes, seeking residency passports, and even tax relief. And if that's what you're interested in, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for more deep down dive videos. Okay, here's the top 3 mistakes. And number 3, the EB-5 project sponsor or developer doesn't have any funds of their own clearly invested in the project. Basically, it means that they are 100% dependent on external financing, whether it's bankers, private financial institutions, or lenders, and so on, including EB-5 investors. This is a big red flag, meaning the risk of the project is higher and the developer only has obligations on paper. In the real world, we call this skin in the game. If your EB-5 regional center, developer, or sponsor does not have skin in the game, please walk away. We always recommend the EB-5 project sponsor developer have at least 20% equity or higher invested in the project. Ideally 25 to 30%, but we'll go with 20. This creates a low risk of failure and make sure they are fully invested in the project, even and when the market conditions become more challenging to complete the project, because we all know and we all agree it's not always a rosy picture. And the future, there's a lot of unexpected factors. Who would have predicted the last 20 years of all the events that happened politically, geopolitically, and economically? This is one of the main culprits when EB-5 projects go bust or cannot finish successfully. Skin in the game. The top second mistake when selecting and deciding on a regional center EB-5 project to invest in. The most common mistake, the second one, is differentiating on your position as a lender on the EB-5 project. What position is your investment as a lender or equity partner in the entire investment structure compared to all the stakeholders involved in the project? Because keep in mind, you're not the only investor in the project. There could be thousands or hundreds or at least 10 key stakeholders or categories of stakeholders. This means, where do you as an EB-5 investor stand compared to the banks, private financial institutions and lenders, developers, and other stakeholders and investors for this EB-5 project? The fact is that EB-5 lenders and investors will not be the only source of funds for any EB-5 projects, or at least they shouldn't. And there will be multiple stakeholders. If the project goes bust, you need to ask yourself the following questions. Does the project have tangible assets such as real estate, like property or buildings for liquidation purposes? I would avoid equipment and intellectual property. Those are pennies on the dollar at best. And ask this question. Are you in the first position as a lender in the EB-5 project you just invested in? Meaning, are you ahead of any other bank or investor in this project, which means you get paid first in case of a bankruptcy procedure? If you've ever been involved in a bankruptcy case in North America, you know you end up with the leftovers after the vultures, well, the banks in first position or the lender in first position have recovered most of their investment. You do not want to be stuck in that situation where you're in third or fourth position. You'll literally get nothing. And yes, if you're wondering, EB-5 projects exist where EB-5 investors and applicants are in first position on the project with tangible assets. Yes, they do exist. And here's the number one mistake in investing in a U.S. regional center approved EB-5 project. This is the number one mistake. It's chasing the return on investment, the ROI on a project instead of the capital recovery. This means prioritization. Investors are chasing the return on investment percentage with the project, which the developer is promising, let's say, after 4, 5, 6, or 7 year period. This is always past the point of obtaining your permanent green card, meaning the conditions of your green card have been removed with the I-29 petition. If the project is successful and some developers promise higher returns than others, of course, this is very appealing and enticing. There are 3 key points to be aware to avoid these mistakes. Are you a lender or equity partner in the EB-5 project you invested in? There are significant differences and implications for you depending on each scenario. Typically, if your focus is recovery of your initial capital, you want to be a lender. And if you're chasing an ROI in the investment, being an equity partner is probably a more logical choice. Number 2, if you're chasing the ROI, which is being promised to you by developers in the next 4 to 7 years when the project is completed or there's an exit strategy, you may be risking your immigration application through investing in a lower quality project and risking your entire capital recovery in return for a promised return on investment. It's understandable you want to make money off your capital. Of course, we all do. But keep in mind that your number one priority is a successful EB-5 immigration application to end up with a permanent green card. Why would you prioritize the investment if you're investing in an EB-5 project? Yeah, I'm asking you. If an investment is your number one priority, then please go into the open capital markets and open markets around the world and invest in a real project not tied to immigration. Number 3 question, there are many promises and claims of high returns to EB-5 investors in the market. However, these promises are not backed in any way through securities or assets. If they promise you 5% per year or 25% at the end of the investment period, what happens if they don't give you these returns to you? Nothing. Literally nothing. Do you think you can take them to court for that because they promised you X amount of ROI? You may be able to take them to court. What will you get out of it? Nothing. Therefore, it's best to take all this info with a grain of salt. The info or those promises that they make you, that we'll give you this and we'll give you that and we'll give you this much ROI. Your priorities should be a successful EB-5 project for immigration purposes for you and your family, and recovery of your capital. And if you're lucky, you can make some money, of course. Either way, if you're chasing the ROI, the capital recovery, or any other factors in your EB-5 investment in an approved regional center project, all the options are available. And of course, we do promote projects for EB-5 in the US, which aligns with the recommendations we've made in this video. We would be happy to discuss these projects with you if you want to, and how to create that security depending on what you're seeking, whether it's ROI, recovery, or successful application. We have projects where you can be in first position as lender or even as equity partners. It all depends on your risk appetite. But what we offer are solid, vetted projects which are not 100% dependent on EB-5 investors. And this is music to my ears, which should be to you as well. If you like immigration hacks, creative immigration solutions, or key analysis and the exposed truth about immigration policies, programs, and updates, then you can click on the subscribe button for our YouTube channel. And thanks for tuning in. We're going to jump into our YouTube audience live stream members asking questions. And if you see the potential for yourself, your family, or clients in securing a second, third, or fourth citizenship or residency, make sure to stay connected with us for all the latest updates and opportunities in global residency and citizenship. At INWE, our company, we're dedicated to customizing solutions for you, clear upfront processes, payment milestones, and peace of mind. We offer a variety of programs to match your goals, backed by our expert guidance and experience. It's all about transparency, choice, and security. With comprehensive insurance and client trust accounts in our North American banking institutions, we protect your interests. Our multilingual team speaks 10 languages, and we've helped clients from over 55 countries. Ready for the next step? Click the link below this video. Contact us. Of course, you can always book a one-on-one session with us, either me or my licensed team members. Always happy to help. And of course, we've got great audience members asking us questions at the end of our lives. So here we are. 7 Design, thanks for the morning. Rosita says, hello, Reza June. Well, hello back to you, Rosita. And Safa, how are you, Safa? Hi, Reza, hope you're doing. How are you doing, bro? Thank you, Safa. How are you doing? Safa says, one of the co-founders of a non-essential applicant has withdrawn from the SUV. What is the best way to notify IRCC and update our business plan accordingly? Yes. So, Safa, if you do have file numbers, you can communicate directly with your officer, or worst case, through a web form. As all the co-founders, you should have an updated business plan with an explanation letter, like a cover letter of what the changes are if this person is non-essential and why they withdrew, right? Maybe it was personal reasons or whatnot, right? So you have to update your business plan, include an explanation letter, and inform. But you also need to inform your designated organization as well. So you mentioned to IRCC that you've informed the designated organization. They're aware. The team has agreed. The business plan has been adjusted. And this is how the rest of the founders are taking over the role or those responsibilities. And Safa is asking about the startup visa program in Canada. Safa says, could this have any negative effect on our startup visa Canada application, especially since we are in the final stage of the PR process? It can be negative, but it doesn't have to be negative. Okay. And folks, if you're tuning in now, we've just done our presentation on the EB-5 top 3 mistakes to select an investment project. But you can watch this video at any time in the future because it'll be posted on our YouTube video. We're just answering some questions of our audience. So Safa, yes, it could, but if you do what I just explained to you, and as that non-essential member wasn't critical, then it will be fine, and it will not affect your application with the rest of your founders, especially the ones that are essential. Okay, so you got to explain, you got to notify designated organization IRCC with an updated business plan and an explanation cover letter with everything. So folks, if you're tuning in now, again, we've covered our EB-5 investment top 3 mistakes. You can watch the video right after when we posted it. And of course, we're here every Thursday live. And in the meantime, we post other videos for your knowledge and experience. And what I always say to my clients or potential applicants is that please don't shut off your brain. Always use it, do research, and plan ahead before applying for anything. Samvir Kumar. Hello, Reza. Nice to see you after a long time. I've applied the GCMS, which is the Global Case Management System Notes, and it's saying ready for a PM3 since 1 year. Well, Samvir, usually, as we discussed before, I think it can be due to security checks that are taking longer to process for specific individuals in the group. And if one individual is stuck, especially if they're an essential member, the rest of the groups will not receive the permanent residency confirmation. So you gotta stick in there and continue to monitor for responses from IRCC updates. And if there's a more than 7-month gap in any communication, you can always request a deadline to receive an update from IRCC officer who's been assigned if you have a file number already for your permanent residency, not a temporary file number, but for the permanent one. Folks, we're going to be back here next Thursday live. We're going to be covering different programs, different strategies, different residency and citizenship solutions. And that's what we do, cross-border solutions. Okay. Thanks again, folks, for joining. Samvir, what is PM3? Sorry, last one. Oh, Samvir, tell me about your application again, Samvir. Can you explain a little bit? Because I forgot. I know we interacted on YouTube before. Give me a little bit of a background again. When you applied, how many founders, what's happening, when the last correspondence was from IRCC. Can you please let me know so I can have some context again? Let me know, okay? ADRMD 2023. So you applied for your startup visa Canada application 2022. You received an acknowledgement in December 2023. So we're over a year now, maybe 12, 13 months. So there has been one question. There has been absolutely nothing, because you could be in a situation where you could demand a response, right? Right? Yes. Okay. So what you have to do, so the PM3 isn't really any, it has no significance somewhere. Okay. What you need to do is you and your co-founders and your legal representatives or yourselves, it depends on who's representing you, yourselves, or if you have lawyers or consultants, you have to do a writ of mandamus deadline. So that means you send a letter signed by you to the officer that is handling the case, because I assume you have a file number since December 2023, and you will request, and you will give them a deadline. You will say, in accordance to the immigration regulations, we have the right of, fair and timely processing as per the, and then, oh yeah, there's another point. Right now, it's not 3 years yet, so you may not be able to do it. That's the only issue, Because we've had cases like that, Samvir, but they were waiting for more than 3.5 years, so we were able to give a deadline to the officer. Otherwise, we would have done a writ of mandamus. But yours looks like it's only 2 years now, 2 years and some change, so you cannot request it. I would say, yeah, you might be stuck right now. You might be stuck. There was no medical request for any of the co-founders, Samvir? Nothing? Because it's like 1 year you're stuck and you've done the GCMS and it's basically showing nothing. Oh, okay, that's good. Safa, that's good. You received that, you submitted okay, Samvir, so that's good. So in 2023, but it's over a year now that you didn't receive anything, 13 months to be exact, which is way too long. So I would say, like Safa says, maybe set up a quick progress report of what you guys have done, and don't put the progress of things you can't prove, okay, but tangible. And try to stay away from, we incorporated and have a website. Everyone has that, okay? We discuss with our incubator. Again, everyone has that. Look at tangible product, send it to the officer and request a response from them acknowledging they've received it. Like Safa said, they've sent a progress report. The officer said they've reviewed it. So Samvir, send something to the officer in the hopes of they'll acknowledge receipt. Because right now you're kind of stuck because you haven't passed the deadline of the online published processing time, and literally you haven't seen any movement or activity for 30 months. A lot of SUV groups are in that situation, Samvir. So you have to be careful that there's not a lot of options or tools the Canadian government has given you to sort of combat this delay or this limbo that you guys are stuck in. And many groups are like that, okay? Fortunately, I couldn't help you more because, to be honest with you, the government has made it in a way where you can't do anything. So even if you can't even take them to court to push them to make a decision, because it's the standard processing times have not passed that were published, right? I was in again, just a notes, national ID not provided. Yeah, national ID is not like an eligibility thing, Samvir, right? So if you have a permanent file number, then you should send something to them. If you don't have a permanent file number, then yeah, you're going to get one this year. And again, when they acknowledge the document receipt, they should have given you a permanent file number, which starts with an E. These days, they give just permanent file numbers. So I'm just wondering if, okay, yeah, that's perfectly fine. But the point is, you're stuck now for 30 months. There's not much you can do except send to the officer through a web form with an update, right? On the progress, tangible progress you've made, to see hopefully that the officer will reply, because maybe your file is just stuck somewhere. Is it a non-priority or a priority designated organization that they should the endorsement letter of support for you, Samvir? PICAP, yeah, PICAP is slow. I had clients with PICAP. Yeah, stick in there. I mean, have some patience. It's a non-priority, so literally they're just sitting on the side doing the priorities until they have time to look at the non-priority. So Samvir, it's a waiting game, unfortunately. Like literally, there's not much you can do. Literally. I'm sorry to inform you that. Lovely Fishing Rod is asking a question on our YouTube channel. Is SUV the only immigration program for entrepreneurs who don't have high net worth? Yeah, right now it looks that way. Lovely Fishing Rod looks that way. You could go for the rural entrepreneur programs. We don't do them anymore, but the rural or provincial entrepreneurs, you only need a net worth of $300,000 or more. So that could be another option. The SUV is the other option. No problem, Samvir. Lovely Fishing Rod, Safa Saleh, 7 Design, and Rosita. We'll see everyone, and especially people in the back, in the dark, who are not posting questions or comments. Doesn't matter. If you're watching this in the future, if you're watching it live, or whatnot. We will be back next Thursday, and we're going to roll out some other non-live videos as well, because at the end of the day, with all this geopolitical activity going on around the world, no matter which country you're from, you should have a backup. You should have a plan B in place. Thanks, folks. Enjoy your day and enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks again. And remember, apply with a plan. Just don't apply just for the sake of applying. Have a good one. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.